All right, how are you, Facebook? Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today in our real estate and mortgages during COVID-19. We want to get more people to get on the feed. So today I have the grand honor of co-hosting this webinar with good friends of mine and real estate agents from Broadpoint Properties and his team, which is Eder and Jesse. Okay, so today's purpose is to educate you guys of what's going on in the real estate world and real estate during the COVID-19. Javier has been receiving a lot of phone calls and his team from clients that are looking to buy, sell, or refinance. So we small short presentation so we can help everybody understand what are the changes happening right now in the real estate and lending world and how can that benefit or impact with COVID-19, all right? So, like I said, I have a good friend of mine. I have quite honored to be presenting with him and his team today. So Javier, tell us a little bit about you and team, how long you've been doing real estate for, and how we're gonna, just let people know who you guys are.
Hi everyone, my name is Javier Zavala, Broadpoint Properties, the Zavala team. I'm happy to sit down today and talk to you and help you with a lot of questions you have. I wanted to introduce part of my team. In first position, we have Jesse Ramirez, is a realtor in Escondido, all the 78 court. I think he has a license for more than 4 or 5 years, I guess. Jesse, you can.
Yeah, I'm licensed now for 5 years.
5 years. And also I wanted to introduce Eder Contreras, is another person on my team. He, with experience around 2-3 years in real estate. Myself, like maybe you know, or many people know, I have a license for over 20 years. So I have experience in I haven't seen a lot of situations in the market and in the real estate industry. And like today, with this situation, we have a lot of questions, a lot of people calling me, and we're going to try to answer all the questions today at the same time. If not, we will search the answers for you, and in the future we will have another presentation and we will answer more questions. So yes. Let's get back to you, Alfonso.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, that's a good point, guys. If you guys have any questions, please type them in the chat. We'll get to them. My marketing guy, Sam, is helping us monitor today's presentation. So with that being said, we want to jump in. So please give us feedback of today's presentation, and also any questions that come to mind or concerns, type them up and we'll do as best as we can to answer them in today's presentation. So let's jump right into it. So Sam, can you go to the next slide, please? Perfect. Go next one. Oh, I'm sorry. Stay there. So no, sorry. So really quickly, Javier, how do you see COVID-19 affecting or benefiting the real estate market? With over 20 years of experience, I mean, you've been through the recession of 2008, right? So although we don't want to talk negative stuff, let's keep it positive. I mean, how do you see this benefiting or affecting, real estate market?
Okay, right now, like everybody does, is like little scared because they don't know what is going to be tomorrow. And in my opinion, it's like 2008. Is just sit down, review, and think what is your plan, and always opportunities in these kind of situations. So if we want to talk about positive, it's always an opportunity. Right now, the interest is low, and we will talk about that. It's we don't have any inventory in California, so that is another opportunity. The pricing for the people who want to sell the properties would be a great opportunity. So in either way, buying property or selling property is a great time right now. I know we need to figure out what is the way we can do all this process, but I think it's a great time. Once again, we have to be careful and follow out the rules. So as we go, we will answer more questions and will be more opportunity for you guys.
Awesome, great. I mean, there's always opportunity, guys, whenever, people are in panic going through situations like what we're going in today, you know, there's great opportunities for those who jump on it. So let's go on to the next slide so we can illustrate what are the most common questions that Javier and his team is receiving in the last couple of days. So Javier, the first one is, you know, what can I do, okay, if I was laid off due to COVID-19 and cannot make my monthly mortgage payments? We talked about this earlier, so, you know, give us some ideas of what can the consumers do.
Okay, the first thing what I recommend to everybody is to call your lender. If you right now, the place you work in is closed or they give you laid off, the first thing you have to do is call the lender, because the lender right now, they have programs they can assist you and help you. So don't panic, just take a time and call the lender. If you go to your statement, you have the 800 number, and they will have a relief program, which is I know it's going to be a little headache. I know everybody will complain. You will sit down too much time in the phone waiting for the opportunity to talk to these people, okay? But I recommend that would be the first step. Soon as you have that step done, if that don't help you, it's a different ways you can manage the situation, okay? So I can go in details, but I don't want it to confuse anybody. But the first thing is try to get it like a time frame to make a payment. It's what it called the forbearance package. So the forbearance package is when you try to negotiate with the lender or the owner of the note, and you can say, okay, right now I don't have a job and I need to give me like a little break, not making my payments. Most of the time, like if we remember in 2008, all these situation of forbearance or negotiation about loans or modifications always cost you your credit scores. So, but right now with the new relief, I think the lenders or the banks, they start getting to avoid this situation. So make sure when you talk about that. So back again to the forbearance package. The forbearance package, you will talk to them. Every single bank is going to be different, okay? I don't want to mention banks, but every bank is going to have their own system and their own forbearance package, okay? What I recommend is try to get it 1, 2, or 3 months, and then the best way is to the payments in the forbearance package will be in the end. So what does the forbearance package means? The forbearance package means is like you negotiate with the bank, you cannot afford to make the payment because you don't have a job, and then they don't going to forget the debt. What are they going to do? The 1, 2, or 3 payments they're going to carry out and add it to the note. So you have, let's say a 30 years mortgage, you will have a 30 years, 3 months or 2 months or 1 month, depending upon how you negotiate with the bank. So that will be the situation. And then try to negotiate to try to put it in the back of the loan, not on the front of the loan. What I mean in the front of the loan is when you, let's say you get a forbearance for 3 months, and the end of the 3 months, you have to pay the total of the balance. That would be a really, really critical situation, because if you don't know, it's going to create a problem. So you need to manage all that situations. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to, you can reach me myself at 760-207-9113, which you can see on the screen, or you can email me your question and I can guide you more in detail how I can help you to pass this situation.
Correct. And, you know, that's great information that you're giving to us, Javier, obviously with all the knowledge that you have of what's going on. And, you know, another thing that we got to watch is, you know, each, like Javier was saying, each lender is going to have its own guidelines. Okay, guys. So with that being said, you know, each lender is going to say, hey, we're going to give you 3 months or 6 months or 9 months or to a year. All right. There will be some stipulations. However, we got to watch this. Now, I'm not this is across the board with everybody, but you know, when you're applying for these forbearances, you may not be eligible to qualify for another loan for a period of time, or they're going to give you the opportunity. Okay, you know what? You want forbearance for 3 months. we'll give you another loan. You just have to pay off those 3 months, and then you're eligible for a mortgage. So once again, we don't want to get too technical today. However, we just want to make sure that you do understand that you guys do have options out there, and make the phone call. Give Javier a call. Give myself a call. The team is right here to take any questions you guys may have about the payment forbearance and with COVID-19. All right. Question number 2 that we have, Javier, is I'm currently buying. Will this affect my transaction? So if currently buying, let's say they haven't gotten into contract, would that affect them anything? Or let's say already in contract, would this affect them or benefit them?
Okay, so in this case, I wanted to pass the microphone to Jesse. Jesse just closed a deal Friday, right, Jesse?
Yes, it was Friday.
Jesse, and he really, he was trying to follow out the rules and the lending and try to negotiate with everybody to make sure make it happen. So he's going to explain a little bit more. So we have a case, and let's hear from Jesse what he say, and when he finished, I will catch up more information for you. Go ahead, Jesse.
Yes, so I'm Jesse Ramirez, realtor now for 5 years. And yeah, we just currently had a transaction that we closed on Friday. It was a little bit more difficult. We had to be more on top of everything. And luckily, my client is still employed. So he gets to do the verification of employment, which is one hurdle that a lot of people are running into. Just because since they're not employed anymore, they can't really get the loan. Although it is, from what I've heard from other lenders and Alfonso, is that there are special circumstances where you can still get your loan. So more importantly, it's making sure that you follow up with your realtor and your lender to make sure that they're giving you the most up-to-date information. Right now, it's just changing. And we don't know what tomorrow will bring or what in another week. So if you just got into escrow, it's important to just stay in contact with your realtor and more importantly, stay in contact with your lender because at the end of the day, they're going to be requiring more and more stuff. I think that we ran into a few issues where they were requesting more documentation. The banks were just being a little bit more thorough with the background checks and so on. So besides that, I mean, during the transaction itself, we did put another extra layer of protection for a buyer and also for the seller, which is this addendum, the COVID-19 addendum, which says that if in a given case that my buyer was to lose his job, they were able to get their earnest money deposit back. And again, that's important. That's my primary job as a realtor when I'm in a transaction is to protect my buyer's earnest money deposit. So we filled out that form. We went ahead and executed all that. And that just gives another layer of protection. So it's just, again, important to follow up with the lender, follow up with your realtor. Make sure you are honest with both of those parties at all times. If you do run into a situation where you have been laid off because of COVID-19, you might be able to extend the escrow an additional potentially 30 days, 60 days. It all depends on the circumstances also of the seller. But if you don't let your teammates know that, they can't go fight for you and try to get you the house still.
Yeah, I mean, that's super powerful, Jesse. Thank you for addressing that. I think that as consumers and buyers out there in the market, some of you may be first-time home buyers, some of it maybe you have owned real estate before. It's good for you guys to know that the state of California has put that in place. Like a week or two ago, I think is when they came up with that, right, Jesse?
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And that's in place to protect you, to make sure that your deposit, whether it's $1,000 to several $1,000s, is protected at all times, especially during rough times that we're going through right now as a nation with COVID-19. And like Jesse was saying, it's that's your duty to protect you as a consumer. So it makes me, and listen, another thing that Jesse just said is super powerful. Things are changing every single day. lending world and on the real estate world. So please make sure that if anything changes in your employment or financial situation, you immediately let your realtor know or your lender know, because there's ways that they can help you. But if you don't speak up, they do not know. All right. So so Javier, do you want to add anything else to this?
Yes, and remember, we can help you. We can communicate with, in case you the seller or the buyer, we communicate with another person. And as an addendum, we can add it to the contract, and we can extend it as necessary. We can extend this contract in the time needed. Okay, but is the case the deal or the transaction need to be canceled, even you already remove your contingencies, because the situation that would be possible to cancel and not lose your deposit. Okay, but
Okay.
every case is different. So I want to clarify, every case is different. So we need to take in care individual these situations.
Okay. Perfect.
All
right, let me just check real quick. Do we have any questions in the chat, Sam?
Not just yet. I'm keeping an eye on the Facebook chat as well, but not yet.
So the third question that we're seeing a lot come up, is this a good time to refinance? So let me lead and answer that question, and then I'll let the team speak to that if they'd like to. So is it a good time? Absolutely. Okay. I strongly feel, and I've checked in with my mentors and my colleagues, and we feel that 2020, it's going to be the best year ever to refinance your mortgage. Now, rates were definitely lower about 3 weeks ago, right? But then this whole coronavirus really took off and skyrocketed, started to affect employment and all that. So, that has had a tremendous impact in our economy. So when that happened, rates definitely spiked up because we did not know what was happening. How long is this going to stay around for? And honestly, I don't even know. I don't think anybody has an idea how big of an impact would this have in our economy, or how long it's going to be around, other than what we're hearing from the government and and the authorities. So what I do see is this: rates after the federal the feds announced that we're cutting the rates. I want to bring that up because feds cutting the rates has no direct correlation with mortgage interest rates. What does have a direct correlation with the mortgage rates is the Fed announced on March the 16th that they were going to infuse about $750 billion into buying mortgage-backed securities. Then, to make it even better, they came out last week, about a week and a half ago, actually, and they said, hey, listen, we know we said $750 billion. It's actually going to be unlimited. We're going to buy as much as we possibly can to help stabilize the secondary market, and we're going to buy mortgage-backed securities. So now that money is starting to come into play. I believe yesterday, don't quote me 100%, I do believe that yesterday, right, the government, or Friday, the government bought about $400 billion of mortgage-backed securities. I don't know where they're at today, but they did, all right? So, I'm sorry, 40 billion were bought on Friday, okay? So we saw it coming down. So the conversation that I'm having with my clients, and the conversation that you should have with a lender, is start your process now. Set a target rate of where you're happy, or where does a lender advise you that, hey, if your rate comes down to this number, we're going to go ahead and lock you in, right? And we're going to close within 2 weeks. So what I'm personally doing for my clients is I'm having that conversation on application, we're pulling their credit, we're actually locking them. Why? Because we offer a free float down, which means that if the market comes down, we can lower the rate for free for our clients, or at a very, very, very small fee. But in essence, we're saying, okay, you're at 4.5. So if the rates come down to 3.5, you're happy with the $300 savings, we're going to lock you in. So is this a good time to refinance? Yes. When are we going to close our refinance? I'm telling my clients up to 60 days. Let's ride the market. Let's see how this money that's going to be infused by the government take place. And once we see that happening, rates are going to keep trickling down. I personally think that rates are going to be in the low threes here in the next couple of weeks to mid threes, which are still historical low rates. So Every situation is going to be different. Every loan product is going to be different. But I highly recommend that you reach out to a professional that you like and trust. You set a target rate, and then you wait and see and sit until that rate comes down. You pull the trigger, you lock your loan, order an appraisal if you need to order an appraisal, and you can close within 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, that's what I'm doing. For more information, give me a call back. My information is at the bottom of the banner. Give Javier and the team a call. We're all here to help you and answer any more questions. But that's what I have for you guys as far as the interest rates. Going to determine refinance? Absolutely. Yes. You guys want to add anything to this, Javier?
Yeah, I have a question for you, Alfonso, because I have a different phone calls in past clients calling me regarding about they wanted to refinance the property. They self-employed, and obviously the business is slowed down a little bit. But the question they asked me is how you guys going to verify the job for the self-employed? Okay,
that's a great question. Self-employed borrowers, the good thing that it's going on for them is we don't require returns for self-employed borrowers. We strictly go off the tax returns, all right? So in most cases, as long as they have at least 10% equity, right, and self-employed for 5 years or more, the automated approval that we put all of our loans through, more than likely, 90% of the time, will only ask for the most 1 year tax return. So if that means that in 2018, they make good money, but they haven't filed, we're going to go off the most recent year filed. So we're going to go off the 2018 or 2019, whichever was the last one they filed. Another thing that the government just also sent a relief on that, they extended the payment of the IRS to the IRS or to file your tax returns until July the 5th, the 90-day extension. So once again, the only way to verify a self-employed borrower's income, it's going to be by the last tax year filed, okay? So obviously that we do go to the state of secretary and we make sure that their business license is still active, which I've never seen one not being active. So as long as they renew that license, you know, that's the verification of employment that we classify, hey, you're still self-employed and you're still operating. We do not require pay stubs. There's some people do have payroll and they do pay themselves. Even if they do, we don't use it because we only go off the W-2 if they pay themselves a W-2 and a tax return from the last year filed. In some cases, they want 2 years. So if that's the case, then we'll require 18 and 17 or 19 and 18, and whatever the bottom adjusted gross income, the bottom net number after all expenses, we add those two numbers, we divide them by 24 months or 12 months, depending how many years we need, and that's the income that's stipulated and stated in the loan application. So let me put another word. So if 2020 are being affected by COVID-19, we're going to go on the last year tax filing, so that's still not going to affect them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then just to add on top of that, one thing that we highly suggest for anyone that is thinking about refinancing or talking to a lender such as Alfonso about buying, have your packet ready, because like Jesse mentioned earlier, things are changing on a daily basis. One of those things is interest rates. If tomorrow we wake up, or tomorrow or in 2 days we wake up, and there was a significant drop on interest rates, and you want to lock that in, have your packet ready. One thing we suggest, have your packet ready, which will include things like W-2, tax returns. We can provide a list later on, but have it ready, because once the ship has sailed and the interest rates go back up, you know, and it sailed away. So it's important to always be ready.
So yeah, in a nutshell, it's definitely a good time to refinance or buy a home. Talk to a professional, get your packet ready, like my team is saying, like Eder just mentioned, and then just be ready to pull the trigger as soon as you have a rate that you're happy with, and that's it. You know what I mean? So you know, that's all you got to do. So let's say here. So question number 4: is now a good time to sell? Now a good time to sell, Javier?
I'm going to transfer the microphone to Jesse, and I will follow up what Jesse is going to say, and I will combine that. Okay, Jesse, so go tell me, what do you think?
Well, it's a interesting time to sell. We can't really show property the traditional way. It's all virtual right now, even though real estate now has been included as an essential workforce. It's still, we're still pretty restricted. We can't do open houses. We can't do visual showings also. Everything's right now. So is it the best time to sell? It's definitely the best time to put your property out there for people to see, just because everybody's at home right now. And like, I've just been doing online shopping all the time that I've been at home. So whether it's like buying a watch, or whether it's looking for shoes or clothes or even houses, I've just been sitting here in my hammock or in my bed or whatever, just looking at properties. So it's definitely a good time to put your property on the market and definitely show it off and start getting those views, and get people excited that when this is all over, they can go ahead and purchase your home.
For the other side, just trying to follow up with what Jesse said, regarding about the inventory. Right now, it's no inventory in San Diego. Like in the area we work, 78 Court, there's not too many properties in the 500 or less. So that's a great opportunity for the people who want to sell the properties under 500, because they will be the value a little bit more. Even it's going to be a challenge in the escrow, et cetera, but it's no inventory. So because we don't have inventory, obviously it's a seller's market. And that's why I say it's a great time to sell. And like Jesse say, it's a great time right now because a lot of people sitting, so have the opportunity to review on the internet and check all these properties. Right. Another thing I want to mention is the Realtor Association allowed to show properties. So it's no like the government say you guys need to be at home. So it is necessary with all the safety guidelines, we will have the opportunity to show properties. So it's a great time. Obviously, it's a great time to sell properties.
Absolutely. And then just to literally piggyback off of that, I don't know if you want to say more words, but I mean, we're seeing multiple. I mean, we had buyers writing offers on properties with, I mean, obviously they saw them virtually or saw them on the MLS and the pictures, and they're writing offers. We know it fits their criteria. They know that it's in their price range in the neighborhood where they want to buy. So as crazy as it may sound, like you were saying, Jesse, I mean, we're all adapting to new ways of doing real estate by buying. I mean, when did we ever imagine, at least not for me, that home online, not online, but through a virtual, right? So I'm super shocked that our client offers, and there's like within 20, 48 hours, there's 5, 7, 8 offers. And that goes to attest to what Javier was saying, that the shortage of inventory is still driving homes sold record speed and top dollar. So yes, it's definitely a good time to buy and sell, especially when you're buying to downsizing or upsizing. Keep in mind, money is cheap. So people, and this is what I was saying at the beginning, I know we're going through some tough times with the coronavirus, but listen, it's not just the US, it's in the world, right? So if you're stable financially, if you're like very secure with your job, right? Definitely a time for you to jump in, because there are other families and buyers that are not as fortunate like you may be. So they're not pulling the trigger. They're backing out of their contracts because they're getting cold feet. They're being scared of being laid off. But if you feel financially safe and your job looks good, jump in, because I'm telling you, it's still definitely a good time to buy because of the shortage of inventory that I was saying. You agree with that, Eder?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
All right.
Alfonso, one thing I wanted to add with how you were saying that, like, we're getting multiple offers and things like that. I mean, this isn't uncommon in the investment side, where when you have investment properties that can't be shown because they're tenant occupied. So it's pretty much falling into place where we have that same situation where these properties can't be shown at the time that you're submitting an offer. But what happens is we just add another contingency on top of that of having a 48 hour visual inspection once an offer is accepted. So then we have 48 hours to go check out the property carefully, look around, and then decide if you still want to proceed. So it protects both the buyer and the seller on both sides. You know, you are showing the property, you will get to see the property. It's not like we're just buying it straight off the internet, not going to be able to check it out. We're not going to be able to do inspections, appraisals. No, we're still in place. And that's why it was important that real estate was added as an essential workforce, because it allows inspectors and appraisers to go to the properties. And one thing that sellers need to be aware of is that they will have to allow people into their property during this whole situation.
Correct. And I mean, you guys as professionals, Jesse, you guys are obviously taking the right precautions. I mean, you guys aren't just walking into a home like you were before, right? I mean, you're cleaning your hands. You may have a mask, may have some gloves. We're taking all the right precautions because, I mean, some people are super scared of what's going on, right? So you agree with me, Jesse? I mean, you guys are taking the right precautions on being safe out there, right?
No, I mean, as realtors, we're always safe when we're going into properties, whether it's an occupied or non-owner occupied. Even before this, you know, we had our precautions. Now we've just stepped them up to health issues, right? So before it was just mostly safety, that nobody was in the property, or dogs or pets, things like that also. But now we have to take it a step up to health issues, you know. And
absolutely.
It's challenging at times, but it's not impossible.
And I'm glad that you guys are now considered some of the essential, the workforce out there, because I mean, we all know that real estate drives our country, right? Construction, real estate. So if we put it to a halt, you know, this could be not what we all want it to be. So I'm super excited that they put you guys on that list so we can keep on, you know, selling homes and helping families. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So let's move on to the last question that we have here.
Alfonso, really quick, if I can just cut in, we have a question from Facebook, kind of speaking on what you were talking about earlier, if COVID-19 will affect home values.
So, Zavala, you're the most senior in the call. So will the COVID-19 affect home values? I mean, senior as far as you've been the longest in real estate, okay?
Good recovery.
Okay. The response of this question is a great question. Is it going to affect selling the value of the houses? It's going to affect, yes. And I can say yes because the unemployment situation, okay? And the employment, I don't know how far it's going to go, but looks like the news and the information we receive is going to be high. So it's a lot of people is going to, unfortunately, is going to possibly lose the houses. So, but it's going to be no compared with the 2008 situation. In 2008 was everything going south and people losing the house day and night. And right here with the help of the government and all this money coming through is not going to be so affected. But he is going to be an adjustment. And my prediction, I will say maybe 5 to 10% losing value, but it's going to be in the short term. So it's going to be like a little curve down a little bit in value and then go back. And I'm talking about California, in particular in the area we work in North San Diego, is the inventory. It's not too many houses. So let's say some people losing the houses and it's going to be a short sale, so maybe some foreclosures, and then that is going to affect a little bit the value in the curve down. But it's going to level right away because the economy is going to go back again. And that is going to help, and because no inventory, you will be back again. So my recommendation right now is to just continue, follow our information we provide to you, and then see what is the best time for you to sell. But right now, in my opinion, right now is the moment to sell. I don't know how it's going to be. Like Jesse said before, it's changing every day. So depending upon what is going to happen this week, next week, and the next month, we don't know. Yeah. It's all depends how it's going to be the reaction. And the most important is I wish everybody be safe and follow the rules. So that will be easy, the transition to go back where we are. And like in the beginning of the year, last year, we have a great year with people selling houses and making good money in the sale. So we will try to continue that.
You know what, Javier? You said, I mean, you couldn't have said it better. It's going to be that curve that we're going to see the correction, because maybe some short sales, unfortunately, some families will have to short sale or foreclose on some properties. However, this is the reason why the government is putting this help in place for the banks, so they can give the homeowners forbearance, you know, if they got laid off or furloughed, so you don't have to make a payment for up to 6 months or even a year in some cases. So you don't have to foreclose or short sell your homes, right? But, you know, like Javier says, I'm with him 100%. I think the correction may be 5 to no more than 10%. But let me put it in perspective as far as numbers, okay? So let's say you waited and you bought that home, I don't know, $50,000 less. But if money's more expensive, meaning rates go back up, the payment's gonna be about the same. So I always tell people, when you're buying for yourself to live in, to put a roof over your head, right? Never be chasing the market, because if you chase the market, you're going to lose on great opportunities. No matter what, we have to pay a rent. So you're paying somebody else's mortgage. Essentially, you're paying a mortgage. It's just not your own mortgage. You're paying your landlord's mortgage, right? So as long as you, once again, I'll say it, feel financially sound and your income is coming in and you're not feeling like you might get laid off, pull the trigger. And if you're worried about losing your job, still pull the trigger. Give us a call or give a realtor or a lender that you like and trust in a shot. Get a full package, like my partner here, Eder, said earlier, right? Get it all to a lender, right? So you're ready to go as soon as all this passes by, because this too, guys, will pass by, all right? Javier, I believe Jesse, we're all in the 2008 mortgage meltdown. That was something different. Unemployment was to the roof. Rates became adjustable. It was ugly, right? This is different. This is different. So, you know, don't hesitate. Give us a call. So thank you for that explanation, Javier. I think you said it very, very, very well. I see another question on the Facebook feed. Alfonso, can you please explain about income verifications in loans in process? Great question, Melissa. So now most lenders want us to verify employment within 15 days of closing a transaction, right? What they're asking us to do now is to do a verbal, once again, because things are changing daily, up 2 days before closing. Last week, they went into like, no, we have to verify the day before closing. They loosened up a little bit, said, okay, you know what? Within 2 days of drawing your loan documents and closing the transaction, just simply verify that they're still employed. The good news is this, Melissa, that a lot of companies nowadays are online. So most of the employment verification is done online. We don't have to talk to somebody live. As long as our company is on a system called the work number, we can verify that the person's still employed, okay? So they're losing it up a little bit as far as appraisals. They're considering doing drive-by appraisals only. The verifications of income and employment, most people are online. If they're not, we're getting the borrowers involved and say, hey, listen, I know that you guys are all working remotely, right? Or maybe your supervisor is not in all day. Give me the best contact of somebody in your company so we can simply call to verify that you're still employed. So we'll find ways to help you out. I'm not too concerned about that, to be honest with you. I'm more concerned about, like Jesse was saying earlier, that with your lender and your realtor, meaning that you got laid off or you got furloughed a week before closing, and then you're crossing your fingers that nobody catches it, right? You're doing yourself a disservice. So please speak up. That's the part that I'm more concerned about. I'm not too concerned about the employment verifications because most people are online. If not, we get the borrowers involved. We tell them to give us a phone number of their supervisor, their managers, somebody in the HR department, and we'll call them and we'll verify employment. So I hope that answers your question there, Melissa. Thank you. Great question. Okay, last question. What is the process to buy, sell, or refinance with the restrictions of COVID-19? Who wants to jump on that, guys?
Okay, I'm going to start with buy. I'm sorry?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Go ahead. You can
okay.
start.
Well, again, with the process of buying right now, there's a few extra steps that need to be taken into account, a few addendums that need to be added to any good contract. Again, we can't really see the properties, but we just put a visual inspection contingency under 48 hours to see the property after we have our offer accepted. And then it's pretty much standard from there. More importantly, like I stated the first time, is that you need to be honest and up to date with your realtor and your lender. If anything has changed in your finances or even family life, you need to let us know so that we can best adjust to the situation.
Perfect. Well said.
I'm going to add in one more thing. If it's necessary, our office or our team, we will provide a FaceTime. So let's say you want to buy a house and you say that it's 123 Grand Avenue or whatever, and we will go there and do a FaceTime with you in the first time, and we will do the tour for you and try to present you the house. If it's something you really like it, we will set up the appointment and we will bring you to you. So if that can help, we will provide that service. So my team, Jesse and Eder, will be happy, and myself will be happy to go there and do the FaceTime. At the same time, for the seller side, the same situation. If you have somebody interested to buy one of our listings, just let us know and we will go in there and we will do a FaceTime tour. And we can have a conversation and we can answer all the questions, and that will maybe we will get in one more step on top of everything. So that would, regarding about the lending, Alfonso will tell you more.
Yeah, I mean, great point. Let me just piggyback off what you and just here saying. I mean, you find ways to show the home to the client, right? Now that you guys are on the list, I mean, maybe you guys schedule the showing, they can go show it, you guys can write the offers, you guys can do a little video. I mean, look today, I mean, you know, we're doing a webinar now, a Zoom call, right? Like, we're all evolving with technology. There's so much technology that's been out for years that we really didn't ever utilize it until today. I think we're all going to become way more open to technology because of this COVID-19. So rather than being a negative, I'm seeing it as a positive thing. I'm super excited that we're able to do this, guys, and people can see us through camera. Like, live doesn't have to stop. You know, we just have to change it a little bit for now. But yeah, so I'm super excited about that. But the lending world, same thing, Javier. You know that you and your team, we pride ourselves on service, right? We like to do things like belly to belly, shake hands, and all that. So that's still happening. Video. We're having our buyer consultations through video. Okay. We're having phone calls to take applications. We're directing clients to go onto our site to application. They're emailing, taking pictures, scanning their documentation. One thing that I do say is this: hey, listen, once all this passes by, we will meet in person. Feel more comfortable working with me and my team, and with Javier and the team. So we will meet at one point before you actually get into contract, hopefully, or before you actually get the keys to your house. We will meet so you feel comfortable with the process. It's all about adjusting and making some small little tweaks so we can keep helping the families that want to be helped. So my whole team, as you can see, I'm working from home. My whole team is working from home. Javier and the team are working from home. We're remote. We ain't stopping business. We're still working, Monday through Friday, Saturdays by appointments. I'll work on Sundays if I need to do consultations. So we're doing everything over the phone, over email, over video chat. And then once we get you qualified and all this passes by, we make the effort to meet with you face to explain everything to you in person once more time. So that's the changes that we've taken as a lender to still stay in the front and helping out families, right? So like I said, in time like this, great opportunities will present themselves, but it's only going to be an opportunity or a great opportunity for whoever takes advantage of it. So give us a call, right?
Right.
So cool. I think it's all the questions we have, I think, for now.
I think Elizabeth Lantu had a question.
Oh.
For Alfonso, have you had any cancellations due to COVID-19?
Have I had cancellations? If I'm being 100% honest with you, yes. I've had 3 cancellations directly because of COVID-19. Unfortunately, there's 3 different families. 3 of them actually worked in the hotel business. One of them was the guy for a big convention for a hotel. They got laid off because obviously there's nothing's happening right now in that arena. Banquets, right? Their banquet manager, one of my clients, got laid off until further notice. And then the other one was a hotel manager as well that also got laid off because they're cutting down staff, and the hotels are empty right now. So everybody's taking the right measures to make sure they cooperate with the authorities. But honestly, other than that, the rest are fine. A lot of my construction workers are still working. A lot of the families that most companies, most industries can be remote too nowadays, Jesse. So I'm only seeing a few honestly, good pipeline right now, and a lot of people are nervous. Yes, a lot of people are nervous. They're calling me more than usual to make sure we're still moving forward. Realtors are calling me. So, but cancellations, only those 3 in my pipeline, and it was all due because they're all hotel business.
And then sorry, I'm just kind of jumping in. That's another reason why, like Jesse mentioned earlier, it's important to have that new COVID-19 addendum signed by both parties, because that's an extra layer. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure, like you mentioned, they were 3 buyers. That's an extra layer of protection for them. Like Jesse mentioned, one of our jobs is to protect your earnest money deposit, not lose it.
None of those families, like Eder saying, none of them lost their deposit because that addendum was put in place as soon as they opened escrow. Some of them already in escrow when that came out, so I executed it. They got it signed, and fortunately enough, sellers understand, real estate agents understand, escrow companies understood, and these are still people that are going to buy. But like Javier was saying, 5 months down the road, all this passes by, because this is not going to last forever, guys. This is not going to last forever. So, we got to the end of all the 5 questions that we've been seeing the most, guys. Anything else that you guys want to add before we, call it quits today?
I just wanted to mention to everybody, you have in the bottom of the screen, you have our email and also Alfonso email. Stay tuned. We will have another answer questions for you. I know it's going to be more questions, and as we go, so we will be happy to answer everything related. In the meantime, thank you for follow up our presentation.
Yes, no, we will have presentation. Please stay tuned to our social media platforms. Follow me at the Alfonso Delgadillo Lending Team on Facebook and Instagram. Eder, where can they follow you? Eder.
Yeah.
What is your social media?
You're breaking up.
Who can follow you?
On Instagram, Eder_San Diego Realtor, and that's pretty much my active one. That's where you can see what's going on and what we have to provide.
Jesse.
Jesse_Ramirez_Realtor on Instagram, and Jesse Ramirez on Facebook. You can find me.
Awesome. Zavala, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Javier Zavala, in my personal page.
Yep.
And you can you have all my information right there in the screen. You can find me there.
Awesome. Great, guys. Well, hey, listen, thank you. We really hope that you guys like this information. Please be safe. Please cooperate with the authorities. Let's help this pandemic come to an end soon. So give us feedback, give us questions. We're super happy that you guys joined us today. Give us some comments, email us, inboxes, whatever, and stay tuned because we'll be coming back. We are planning to have this Zavala, at least once to twice a week, maybe, right?
Yeah, we will try to follow up at least 2 times a week. So we'll care for us.
Awesome. Guys, Eder, Jesse, Javier, thank you guys so much, man. It was super excited to be with you guys in this call.
Thank you, Alfonso. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. You got it.
All right, bye-bye.